Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, mothers, fathers, daughters, sons, brothers and sisters. This is the Apex Online Racing Ferrari Ford Challenge Cup Championship rounds 15 and 16 here at Road America. My name is King-Kodiak. I'm delighted to be commentating at this event, as it has been a little while since I've been in the commentary box. But joining me, keeping me on the straight and narrow, and as you can tell, I certainly need it, is the wonderful, the glorious, the delicious McFillan.
Oh, thank you very much. Once again, a beautiful intro. If you need me to be keeping you on the straight now, we're going to have a tough time of it.
Not at all, not at all. Right, the qualifying has begun. We are just over 2 minutes in, so people will be just coming around the last corner rather, to start their flying laps. As we are looking currently at car number 55, Stevie Chambers. He's actually he's just gone through turn 5 actually to begin his lap. Not everybody is currently out, but the vast majority of the people are, as you will see from the overlay. We have no position markers at the moment due to no one having set a fastest lap. What sort of lap time are we expecting here, Mr. Phil?
I would say anywhere between the 202, sort of mid 202s, possibly low if we get one or two people really hammering it out. But yeah, so sort of anywhere between that and, you know, probably like into the 204s. And if someone's a bit struggling, probably, you know, potentially 205s. But typically, you want to be anywhere in between the 202s and the 204s here.
Excellent, excellent. Hello, Groby. Good to see you in the chat. My wife is recovering well. Thank you very much for asking, kind sir. She's recovering well. Another few weeks to go. She had for those unaware, she had a major operation a couple of weeks ago. Just prevented me from being in the commentary box, as I've been looking after our children in her stead. But youngest is fast asleep and eldest is amused by my phone. So therefore, I am free to do what I love to do. So we're just seeing Stevie come around the last corner to complete his first flying lap, and we'll see what his time is.
I think it might actually be an outlet potentially. We'll see.
And
I have caught him late. I'm fairly sure it might be an outlet, but I'll tell you who is on a flying lap. The first person that is on a flying lap, I believe, is Gunnar Nienhaus, coming around the final corner now. And
there he is, car number 54, and the yellow and white coloured Ferrari. Just double check I'm staring at the correct skins, if you would, Mr. Phil.
He's orange.
He's orange and white. I can't see that closely. And over the line, and we don't see. Oh, there it is, 2:02.677.
Almost instantly matches his practice time.
Excellent, and there we go. So exactly as you said, a low 202, or in the 202s, and he's already coming straight back out for another go. So there we are. We are seeing some times popping onto the board. Evan Imre at 202.8, and Yannick Nienhaus 203.4. I'm assuming Gunnar and Yannick are brothers.
They are indeed. Yeah.
Excellent, and there we go. Lucas Dolzer taking the pole time, 202.4. If I just order that by position, there we are. That's going to help us. Adam Tierney is taking the third spot, 202.7. Oh my goodness me, what's that? That's less than a tenth between second and third at present.
Yeah.
200s,
22,000.
22,000. That's what I was trying to get. 23,000 if we really want to be. Oh yeah, hang on a minute. Yeah, 22. No, I bow to your superiority there. Christoph Fights in fifth position. Then car number 69, 202.9, and new pole position. Dustin Hickman 202.0, just shy of breaking that 202. Just shy of breaking 202. Then so he's jumped back into the pits. And he's come straight back out again, so not taking it for granted that he's going to hang on to that spot then.
No, I think there's almost certainly then going to be a good chance for us to be dropping into the 201s based on that, because
Absolutely.
We know Patrick is usually the fastest guy out there, and if Dustin doing a 202, pretty much we've got, well, a really low 202, I think we have a shot that Patrick's probably potentially going to beat that. 4/10
between Dustin and Lucas. So speaking of Patrick, here he is just coming over the line, car number 68, and he gets, give that a moment to update, or was that his outlap? Outlap.
No, it wasn't an outlap. He's
invalid.
Yeah, I believe that's the case.
Oh dear. Jerry Lynn is just coming over just coming around the last corner. Car number 30, the orange and blue colour Ferrari. I believe that is pronounced Yonshi, but I've been told to say Jerry Lynn, as no one this side of the continent can get his name right.
You call him Big Jerry.
Big Jerry, and that's 2:11. So time to be found there. And Gunner's lap time's actually disappeared. Interestingly.
Has it?
No, well, on my overlay. Yeah, on my overlay, it's actually gone.
Yeah, the overlay is a little strange sometimes, I think.
Yeah, I mean, this is really.
Yeah,
he was the first one to say it. 202.677.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what's a bit bizarre with this? It's heavily affected by lag. This overlay, as I discovered the first time I ran it. So, if people are lagging, it makes people jump around horribly. So, as we've just seen, Jerry return to the pits and get going again. Who else shall we see? Patrick, as we saw there, he completed his lap, but was unfortunately invalid. That's on board with the awesome Patrick, as he is coming down to. He's coming. He's just gone through the kink. He's coming through the kettle bottoms, as it's affectionately known, the top end of the circuit, I believe, heading up to Canada Corner. So he's got right-handed. Pardon?
I'm glad you know the names of the corners.
Well, I don't know them. That's what this map tells me it is.
Stevie's requested us that we use his version of the track map that you can find.
Oh, right.
I would suggest potentially not using that.
So here he is, and just coming to the line. Switch back to the TV camera. Does he set a time this time around? Answer is 2:01.951 is our new pole time. It didn't take long for that 2:02 to be beaten. We only have 1.5 minutes remaining here at qualifying, and Patrick Heinrich has stolen the pole from Dustin Hickman. Where is car number 71? There he is. That is, he's just started another lap actually. He's heading down through down through the Moraine Sweep, and heading down towards turn 5, I believe. So he's not going to have enough time to complete that lap. Well, I don't think so, anyway. If he does, he'll be very, very close. There's only
I think you might be right. Yeah.
There's a minute to go. A minute to go on a 2-minute lap, and he's just gone through turn 6, so I can't see it. I mean, unless he sets an ungodly fast lap, but we'll watch with him because he's going to be close. As he's come through, that is turn 8. He's just gone through, and he's now coming through the carousel. So if we jump on to, let's pick a decent camera. Let's go with that one. Obviously, Phil can't see which camera I'm actually talking about. Oh, and that's how close he's running to the edge of the circuit there. That's using every available inch that he possibly can. That's rear. I was actually looking for the right front suspension, which is that one. Again, so he's coming through Canada Corner, Thunder Valley, and then that is Bill Mitchell Bend, heading towards turn 14, and that is time done. So he didn't quite complete the lap as I thought he wouldn't. And, well, that is qualifying done there. So Patrick Heinrich was indeed your pole sitter for this round. And all of my times have actually vanished from the overlay, unfortunately. Do you have them handy?
I do indeed.
Run us through the order then, if you'd be so kind, Mr. Phil.
Run us through the order. So, on pole position, we have Patrick Heinrich with the 201.9 that we saw him set. Dustin Hickman, another one of the SimRC boys, in second with a 2 minutes 2 dead, pretty much. Christoph Weitz comes in third with a 202.3, with Lucas Dolzer in 202.4. So top 4 are SimRC once again. However, breaking that SimRC train is Adam Tierney with a 202.6, and then Gunnar Niehaus also in a 202.6, a little bit slower in 6th position there. Evan Imre in 7th with a 202.7, with Lawrence Drake in 8th.
Great effort by Evan there.
Yeah, great. Well, good performance from some of those guys up there. All taking the performance bonus from the setup that I gave them.
Well done.
Yeah, Lawrence Drake is in 8th, with Knut Martinsen in 9th, and Jürgen Frank actually surprisingly down in 10th after being third fastest in practice, and usually one of the top guys, only down in 10th. Enric Andre 11th with Yannick Nienhaus 12th. Soren Krutz 13th with Sarah Dove in 14th. Stevie Chambers in 15th with Alexander Waldo in 16th. Milo Lanford 17th. John M. Roberts in 18th. Adam Hedgecock in 19th. And Yanchi or Mr. Jerry Lynn, Big Jerry, in 20th. And 3 guys who did not set lap times. Andrew Lane with Service 21, Dennis Enlauer 22, and Nick Carroll 23. So a slightly smaller grid than normal, but it doesn't look like there are any Fords on here today.
I was just about to ask that actually. If we had any Ford runners, obviously I've been a little bit out of the loop of late, but everyone was jumping over to the Ferraris, it would seem, and we should be getting this underway very soon. And there we go.
Here they go.
And I'm trying to get the camera sorted out, and there we go. Then the start of the race is now a go as the overlay sorts itself out, trying to figure out who is where. We have 3 of the CMRC guys heading down towards that first turn. Patrick Hinder. Oh, we've got trouble. That's Evan, I think. It is. That's Evan.
Yeah.
Evan. Yeah, Evan.
Frank into the back of him.
Yeah, that is, he's right the way down to the bottom. He's facing the wrong way, trying to get going again at that turn 3. That's a disaster then for Evan. Now, again, back up to the front. Oh, God, crikey, we've got some lag issues going on. So
had a fantastic start. Sorry, I just...
Carry on.
Gunner's gone from 6th to 4th.
He has, and there he is then. In that orange and white Ferrari. He's under pressure then by Christoph Veit into that turn. Look at the move behind. That was Lawrence de Rijk getting that 6th position from the Force India coloured Ferrari of Adam Tierney. And we see that's... is that...
Jürgen Frank. The one that was involved with Evan earlier, he's now running side by side.
Oh, crikey!
Evan might have a bit of damage actually from the contact as well. I think Evan might have been shoved into the back of him, so Adam also having damage. So that's a shame for him. And is that Enric Andre on the inside? It is.
It is, yes.
That position.
The Italian-coloured Ferrari then just coming into the carousel. Then yeah, Adam Tierney is falling through the order quite badly. If we get onto the chase cam, oh yeah, we actually get on board. Serious body damage then. That's going to be horrible for aerodynamics for that pink Ferrari. Then as he's lost the position to Knut Martinsen as well. Not a great start for the Force India colour. Oh, is that a Ford I just spotted there?
Oh, where? Let me have a look. No, it doesn't. But
no, it's Ford SI. It's Milo Linford. His Ford coloured Ferrari there. Of course, he's keeping the colour scheme of the Ford that he started to run. I think we've lost Evan already. I think we've lost Jerry. Oh no, Jerry's spun. Beg your pardon. Jerry is Jerry's just correcting himself. Oh, crikey, he's having a terrible time trying to get going again. The crikey, we've got a lot of lag issues going on then. Oh, there we go. As we just saw, lots of the field spontaneously appear. But Patrick Heinrichs really breaking away at the front. Dustin Hickman under pressure by Lucas Dolzer. I mean, how many times? Oh, and he's just lost it at turn 3. So that's going to lose him a lot of positions. Gunnar Nienhaus up a position. Christoph Weiss up a position. And is that Lawrence de Rijk? It is. He's going to be very, very close on the nose of Lawrence then. You can see how he's gaining on Dustin Hickman at this point, heading down towards turn 5, getting to the outside, but that inside line going to be defended by Dustin. And on they go in that same position. Gunnar now in a podium position then. He's still right with Lucas Dolzer. But if we look back from the gearbox of Patrick, that's what the gap looks like. That's about 2.5 seconds, give or take. And that's what it looks like from Patrick's perspective. But looking from Lucas, that's what he has in his rearview mirror. That is Gunnar Nienhaus right with him at the moment.
Yeah, Gunnar going strong, as you say, and really putting into. We know Gunnar's got some pace, and he's showing it right here. He's had a couple of guys drop off the road. He had a fantastic start. He's put himself in that position to be able to pick up the mistakes from others. And let's see if he can really start putting pressure on Lucas and see if he can move his way up into the 2nd position. Looking
down so slightly further down the field then, there's Christoph Weiss for Dustin Hickman in 5th position. Has got Lawrence de Rijk in close company. Jürgen Frank is next in line, 7th position. Knut now up to 8th then. It's Adam Tierney, I think, has gained a position. Enric Andre has made a mistake as he's now down in 10th position. But as you can see here, he's really on board with Enric. You can see that heavily damaged pink Ferrari as he's just spontaneously vanished from view as I just said that. But yeah, that is really hurting Adam's lap times at the moment. The top times are in the 202s. Adam's 204. Mind you, Enric was 205 last time. So settling into their rhythms then. We will see how the race unfolds. Yeah, we've lost 3 from this race, it seems. Jerry is in the pits, yeah, as is Evan after that incident. Oh, there's 2 we've lost, so it is Jerry and Evan from this particular race. And the Patrick has vanished. There he is. We're getting that lovely lag issue going on again. But he really has broken away. 3.5 seconds then is his lead. Look at this pack here. 2nd, 3rd and 4th all within what's that? Less than a second separates Lucas Dolzer, Gunnar Nienhuis and Christoph Weitz, and not too far behind is Dustin Hickman as well. So a big pack here squabbling for the middle and lower podium positions at the moment as they come into the carousel.
Yeah, I mean, as you said, they've got that pack for 2nd. You've got the pack for currently fighting for 8th position. Knut Monson leading the train of about 7 cars at the moment. Adam actually keeping well. Adam doing a good job. You know, he has the damage, but he seems to be able to stick with quite well.
Trouble for Henrik Andre. He's just lost it at the exit of carousel.
Oh, he has.
And he's out. He's chosen to retire the car. He did hit the barrier pretty hard on that car, so we've lost it. This race has claimed another, and unfortunately, so we are now down to, I think, 20 runners. So yeah, Knut Martinsen has lost a tail from that particular battle. Sarah Dove in now up into 10th position as a result of that retirement. Stevie Chambers 11th, and Yannick Nienhuis at the back of that particular train in 12th. And indeed, he got Monster Cat. Hello, Monster. Yeah, this sprint race is only 10 laps long. The feature race will, of course, be longer than that. The feature race will be a reverse grid of this race, of the qualifying results of this particular event. So yeah, be mindful of that. Oh, as we just see Adam Tierney make a move on Knut Martinsen. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to pull it off into turn 3. I mean, that's pretty impressive considering the heavy damage on the back of that Ferrari.
It certainly is, yeah.
I was
Jürgen Frank on the back of Lawrence the right.
Yeah,
he's coming side by side, and Jürgen has the inside line for this corner. It's a tricky braking zone here, so let's see if he can make this stick.
Oh, side by side, Jürgen just noses ahead. He's got the inside line, and that is move done. Can he make it stick? Hits the apex a little bit hard, bounces a little bit, but he has got that 6th position. Very nicely done. Let's jump up to the battle then for 2nd position, as this is still fairly close, although Lucas has broken away from Gunnar. So he's relieved a bit of pressure from himself. So Gunnar now leads a 3-car train of himself, Christoph Weitz and Dustin Hickman. So Dustin's now really on the back of that CMRC teammate, inverted commas, of Christoph Weitz. You can see the wheel colours differentiate them along with the car numbers. Patrick Heinrich still leads by 3.5 seconds over Lucas Dolzer. Can Gunnar break away from the pressure of Christoph Weitz and chase down Lucas again? That is the golden question. Oh, side by side! Yes, it is. It's Christoph Weitz and Dustin Hickman. Dustin's got the inside line, but can he hold on to it? If we get a different camera lens, we're hidden by trees. Still side by side as they're heading down towards Canada Corner. Oh no, beg your pardon, they've gone through Canada Corner. Oh, Christoph Weitz had to go a bit wide then. They're coming through the last turn, and he's hung on to that, and lag then prevails as he's flashing away. And, oh, that was well defended there by Dustin for 4th.
Well, I think Dustin actually made the move, didn't he? Dustin made the move on Christoph to take that position.
I beg your pardon, yes.
Guys, with that fighting, look who isn't that far behind anymore. It's Jürgen Frank. Who, as I said, it was very surprising that he was as far down as he was in qualifying. I expected him to have more pace than what he did, so it'd be interesting to see if he can catch up. Maybe he has some damage from that early contact as well that might hurt him the rest of the race, but yeah, that looks like that track's having a good time. It's a SimRC fight with Gunnar just in between.
Indeed. So looking further down the field, Knut still has a big train behind him, although there is a little bit of space in there. So he's not holding them up as such, but the field hasn't spread out as much as I was rather expecting it to as we hit the halfway stage in this sprint race. Knut still fending off as we look behind. That is what Knut can see in his rearview mirror. And that is a face full of pink Ferrari. Oh, look at that! Just as I say that, Canute's gone wide. That's given the position to Adam Tierney. Even then, Adam had to kind of take a bit of an evading action not to slam into the back of Canute Martinson, and that is 8th position to Adam Tierney. Very nicely done. Sarah Dove is straight on Canute's case as well, with Stevie Chambers also in very short succession, so it doesn't get any easier for Canute Martinson at the moment.
No, yeah, Sarah would be ruined the fact that that mistake happened where it did, because otherwise she probably would have made the move as well. But it's such a tight little situation that you can't really make a second position from that. So she had to back out of it. But it's an unfortunate one for Canuck, but good stuff from Adam to avoid and get through, especially with the damage he's going through. We've said it a few times, but he's still going pretty strong.
That he is, then. That he is. Switch back to the TV cameras. So 4.2 seconds is the lead of this man, Patrick Heinrich, car number 68, as he comes across the line to complete lap number 5. Lucas Dolzer has really broken away from car number 54, Gunnar Nienhuis, who in turn has indeed broken away from Dusty Hickman, no doubt due to thanks in no small part to the battling that he was having with car number 69, Christoph Weitz. But that battle is not... it looks like Christoph Weitz was flashing his headlights there as a distraction method, I'm sure. He's not trying to be given the position as they come through now turn 3. And that's 4th and 5th that we can see the battle for. Oh, we have a spinner at the back. It's Jürgen Frank.
Yeah, it is Jürgen Frank.
Oh, that's going to be very, very costly then. That's down to, is that 13th? It's going to be, no, 12th. He's pulled in behind Yannick Nienhuis. That's a very costly spin there at turn 3. So, that's given a position. Oh, look how close Sarah Dove is to the back of Canute Martinson then. That's what it looks like from Sarah Dove's perspective. She can probably tell what flavour chewing gum Canute is chewing at the moment. She's that close. And again, there's that pink Ferrari of Adam Tierney. So whilst he has gotten ahead of Canute Martinson due to his mistake a couple of laps ago, he's not managed to break away to a massive degree. Stevie Chambers is right there as well, having been gifted that 10th position because of Jürgen's mistake.
I would guess he's chewing bubble gum, cherry flavoured.
A fair guess, why not? Let's have a look then further down the field. So Soren Grutz, 13th position. And here's a Kaspersky flavoured Ferrari. Has Amelia Linford directly behind. Alexander Waldo in the next Force India flavoured Ferrari in 15th position, car number 4. Car 698, Andrew Langham Service, finds himself very much on his own in 16th position. Adam Hitchcock, 17th. Car number 82 has got a bit of a gap between himself, about 3.5 seconds between himself and Adam. Dennis Anlauer, 18th. Yeah, it was also a little bit lonely back there. John Roberts is still running. He is in 19th. I'm not sure if Nick Carroll, I don't think is running. No, it doesn't look like Nick Carroll is running. So we have got 19 runners still with us at the moment. Let us try and find, in amongst the lag issues going on, which I do apologise for, but at the moment I can't seem to find anybody.
Oh. Right. That's interesting. Nick Carroll must have had a mistake on this lap because he has disappeared. Whereas, so we are down to 19 runners, so that's an interesting one. I wonder what happened to Nick. Well,
at the moment I can't find anybody. So I don't know what's gone on with my game at the moment, as I'm unable to select anyone.
Well, that is a bit of a shame. We're going to see potentially Jürgen Frank making a move on Yannick Nienhuis. Oh, he's down the inside. He's late on the brakes. Is he going to be able to get that move to stick, or is he a little bit running onto the apex? But he's going to get that move done, and Yannick's going to concede that position back down to 12th. Goes Yannick. Now Jürgen Frank has got a large gap to make up to try and catch up to Stevie Chambers ahead.
Just shy of 3. Just shy of 3 seconds, and is the gap that he has to make up now that I've managed to get my interface unstuck. Christoph Weitz is still right with Dustin Hickman. There's a little bit of a gap there, about half a second or so. And that could give Dustin the opportunity to start chasing after Gunnar Nienhuis. Just about 8 tenths there, so Gunnar is not able to relax particularly at the moment. Only 3 laps to go. But that fight will almost certainly reignite. Sarah Dove is still right with Knut Martinson's half a second or so there as well. As previously mentioned, Yannick Niehaus right with Jürgen Frank, less than a second there. Milo Linford is now right with Soren Kruitz and Alexander Waldo as well. So there's a battle 13, 14, 15 forming right here. So fighting up and down the field.
That's always fun. That's what we want.
That's what we love to see. That is exactly that. So they will continue as they are. Let's jump back up to Dustin Hickman, Gunnar Nienhaus, third, fourth, and fifth position then. And that is again Dustin and Christoph getting very, very close to one another. See if we can get the. There we go. So that's the three in the blimp camera of Gunnar Nienhaus in that orange Ferrari, and they're going to disappear into the tree. So that camera is pretty useless. Let's try that one. Oh well, there's three cars. It wasn't the three I was aiming for. Oh crikey! As you saw, Christoph Weiss really close in on that braking zone of Dustin Hickman. That doesn't try a move into turn 5 then. So they come through turn 6. Their last lap times 2:03.1, 2:03.7, 2:03.2. So not a lot of pace difference between. Beg your pardon, 2:02.7, 2:03.1, 2:03.7. So a bit of a pace difference there. But we'll see how that transpires. We're on at lap 8 of 10. Less than 5 minutes to go of this particular race. Give or take.
Give or take.
Has been totally dominated by this man, Patrick Heinrich. He has been absolutely peerless this time around, but we will see how, if that domination continues into the feature race. Lucas has got himself quite a comfortable gap, comparatively speaking, between himself and Gunnar. That's 2.4 seconds there. Oh no! So where the camera was, when they came over the rumble strip, it sounded like a big impact, but it was just because the camera was that close to the rumble strip. It was just a big thump, essentially.
That's quite fun.
Christoph Weitz going a little bit wide there on the exit of turn 14 has lost him time on Dustin, so that's going to give Dustin a bit of breathing space. Let's check further down the field. There's Adam Tierney in that pink Ferrari trying to close down Lawrence de Rijk for 6th position. There's that 3-car train. Knut Martinson, Sarah Dove and Stevie Chambers still in that same running order as they have been. See, Sarah Dove was the quickest of those three by a couple of tenths, but it's not paying off for her at the moment. Jürgen Frank is behind them with Yannick Nienhaus behind him. And Milo Linford is remaining pretty close to Alexander Waldo. I think Milo and Alexander has swapped round since we last saw them, but they seem to have lost the back of Soren Kruitz. Well, you can see him in the shot there. The timing would have you believe that that gap's actually a lot bigger than it should be. Adam Hedgecock is sticking right with Dennis Anlauer. That is for 17th position. With John, unfortunately, quite a way back on his own. So still a number of battles going on right the way to the end of this sprint race. Jumping up then to the battle for the last podium position. And now the SimRC guys have spread out a little bit. Dustin now has the opportunity to really chase down Gunnar, but is it a little bit too little too late, I wonder?
I mean, you never know. Just putting that pressure on the final lap, can it cause the guy ahead to make a mistake? I think without a mistake you'd expect it. Probably is a little bit too far, but I'll tell you what might not be too far is Adam Tierney chasing down Lawrence de Rijk for 6th position. Adam's not too far behind, and even with that damage he's going very strong.
That he is.
So let's see if he can do anything.
He's having a belting race. Whoa! Oh, what might have been were it not for that first corner incident between himself and Evan Imre, as they come up to the final turn to start the final lap. Final lap? No, penultimate lap. Beg your pardon. Oh no, it is penultimate. No, it is final lap. I was right first time.
Yes,
I was right first time. I should have.
Your instincts, Chris.
I ought to a little bit more. So there is that gap with Adam Tierney then. He is gaining very, very slightly, as we can see on Lawrence de Rijk, but I don't think he's, unless he has a hell of a dive bomb, which he wisely chooses not to do. It's not a massive braking zone into turn 1. His better option would be the braking zone in turn 5, but he's having a look though. He is checking round the side of Lawrence. He was about half a second faster than Lawrence de Rijk last time around. And he is gaining, so if we again look back from Lawrence's car, that Ferrari's getting ever bigger then, as they're going to be getting side by side then. Lawrence goes to the inside line. Adam chooses the racing line. He's having to back out of that. Is he going to get the switch back? Yes, he does. Lawrence gone too deep into turn 5. Now Adam's got the inside line. Can he hold on to it? Oh, that was very, very close. Lawrence trying to muscle his way to pass Adam to hold on to that position, but it doesn't pay off. Adam Tierney up into 6th position then on the final lap of this sprint race.
It's a lovely move. Around the outside. Well, it looked like he was going to go to the outside. Then Lawrence goes a little bit deep into the corner, and the switchback happens. Adam then was very tight actually going into the next corner. So I thought maybe there was going to be it was going to be a bit of a struggle to get that move done, but he actually did it very well. Lawrence attempted to hold it around the outside, but as you saw, he just had to back out of it and had a little wiggle, and ended up not being able to get him. So that's some good stuff from both those guys there.
Sarah Dove and Kenneth Martinson were actually side by side through the carousel, and still Kenneth Martinson manages to hold off for 8th position. And Stevie Chambers is there to pick up the pieces if there is a mistake between those two. But we should be seeing, where is Patrick? Here he is to come across the line to claim the sprint race win. There he goes then. Your race winner is been Patrick Heinrich. Second is going to be Lucas Dolzer. Gunnar Nienhaus just manages to fend off Dustin Hickman for that 3rd place. Crikey, Dustin closed that gap down quick. Christoph Weiss comes across the line for 5th. Adam Tierney is 6th position. Lawrence Reich 7. Knut then manages to hold on for that 8th place. Sarah Dove 9. Stevie Chambers 10. Jürgen Frank crosses the line for 11th. Yannick is claiming 12th place. Soren Krutz 13. Alexander Waldo, there he is in 14th place. I think he may have made a mistake somewhere along the line because he was right. Oh no, beg your pardon, Milo must have made a mistake because those two were fairly close together last time we looked. So Milo Linford claiming that 15th place. Andrew Langham Service 16. Here he comes. Dennis Hanlauer. There he comes across the line in the 17th position. And John Roberts, where is he? He is coming through the final turn then. So he will come up to hold on to 18th position. And there is Adam Hitchcock, the last runner, coming through that final turn to claim 19th position. Wow, what a sprint race we've had here at Road America.
Yeah, I mean, we had a few incidents, a few stuff, and some good side-by-side action. We had a dominant winner in Patrick, it must be said.
Indeed.
Yeah, so it all seemed to go well. Actually, I believe I found what's happened to Nick Carroll, actually. I know we said it earlier on in the race, but he hit the incident limit. So
oh dear.
Nick Carroll disappeared. So that's a shame for him, but yeah, we had some good stuff. I think pretty much most people inside the... a lot of people that sort of started around the sort of 10th area ended up moving up a couple of places.
Indeed.
Or a place or two here and there, so not bad from those guys. As you see, Gunnar, probably one of the bigger movers. Apart from Sarah, of course. Both Sarah and Stevie having really strong races, jumping up 5 positions both into some very good point scoring positions there.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the second round, the feature race here at Road America. You can see the grid is forming. This is a reverse grid from the qualifying from which took place for the sprint race. Except for those that were unable to set a lap for whatever reason, or didn't attempt to set a lap. This is the exact reverse from the qualifying, or should be, when everyone is in the session. So at the moment the overlay is slightly confused because not everybody's in the session yet. However, this doesn't look like a rolling start to me, because that's the start-finish line, is it not, Mr. Phil?
That's where we'll be going from, unfortunately. We will have to have a whole lap
of
a rolling start.
Oh, okay, yeah, we're going to have a rolling start for our entire lap. Oh, well, never mind. We have had some server problems getting the second session underway, but we are here, as you can see. Just waiting for, I think it's just Nick Carroll and Jerry Lynn to join us by the look of this. And looks like we are getting underway. The pace car should be there. There it is. So as the overlay now sorts itself out, as people cross the line and officially register themselves as in the race, we will then be able to go through who is aware, good and proper.
Yes.
Looks like John Roberts then is on that front row. Yes, he is, alongside Milo Linford. Stevie Chambers, as you can see there, in third place alongside John Roberts. And Alexander Waldo in the pink Ferrari alongside Soren Kurtz. Saradav having a great battle with Knut Madsen last time around. Yannick Nienhuis. Can't really see very well from that particular angle. Let's go to that one. There we go. 8th position, no. Jürgen Frank in 9th. There is Knut in 10th position. Lawrence de Rijk. No, I can't see anything from that camera. Let's stick with that one. Lawrence de Rijk in 11th. Evan Imre, hoping for better fortune this time around and lasting more than one corner, in 12th. 13th is Adam Tierney in the pink Ferrari. Or swapping position, or is alongside Gunnar Nienhuis. Lucas Dalza. He's one of the CMRC guys, yes he is. And there you see Christoph Weitz. There he is in the green-wheeled Tiger Colour Ferrari. Patrick Heinrich, race winner from last time around, in 16th position. See, he'll come past the camera. There he is, alongside Dustin Hickman. Dennis Andlauer was unable to settle out last time around. He'll be starting at the back of the field alongside Andrew Langham Service and Nick Carroll. We have lost already Jerry Lynn, unfortunately.
Oh, we haven't lost Jerry Lynn, but Jerry Lynn's going to start from the pits. He would have been on pole.
Aha!
He's decided the pit lane start is where he wants to be.
Oh.
Possibly thinking he doesn't want to be getting in the way of people. He knows he's a little bit off the pace at the moment, so probably wisely for himself, just keeping himself out of trouble, and others rather nicely of him to keep others out of potential trouble as well.
Absolutely. So it was the pace car suddenly pinged in. I'm surprised the pace car's having ping problems, but there we go. As the field now works its way through, I've actually lost track of where we are on circuit. That's the kink, I think. Yes, it is. It seems very weird that the pace car is going on this long, and that wasn't incorrectly set up, and never mind, we are here nonetheless. It should have started from...
This is actually a typical safety car start here. Just rolls all the way.
All the way around. Oh, okay.
Well, I mean, it's not going to pull off before the end of the race.
Well, he's certainly not going to pull away from these guys.
Oh, no, that's true. That's true.
So they've just come around...
Pace car looks.
That is true. I still reckon, though, that it does look like someone is basically crucified on the front of the Porsche, though. It's the iRacing logo, of course it is, yes. But it does look like someone's been nailed there. Very Carmageddon style. But that could just be my warped view of the world. So as the pace car then should now peel off. It's not peeling off. Oh, there we go. She's left that very late. So then it will be up to Milo Linford to get this race underway then. Looking on the gearbox of Milo. And there he goes then. This race is now underway. Milo has really caught the field napping, essentially. He's already got himself a second's gap to those ahead of him. You see Stevie Chambers did get up to second position. Oh my goodness me, look at that. That's Jürgen Frank. Oh no. Yes it is. That's Jürgen Frank.
Jürgen Frank fired himself all the way up from 8th. It looked like there was a little bit of miscommunication between the two lines there. The right side went and the left side didn't. Yeah.
As we see the field now working their way around. Oh no! That's Evan Imre! Evan, the disaster has struck Evan again! That's Evan and Adam Tierney have come together again for a second time. Well, I assume so, as they're the two now at the back of the field, and Adam's got colossal damage. He's lost his bonnet. That's a fair amount of damage to the front of that Ferrari. So again, trouble for Adam Tierney.
Yeah, it's actually a weird one. Both of those cars didn't actually come together at all, but both had almost the exact same issue, breaking down into turn 3. Just caught it on.
Oh, trouble!
Oh, yes, trouble indeed. Oh, that's Waldo, and is it John Roberts? It is. John Roberts.
So Waldo has lost his bonnet as well. Jerry Lynn has got going, and John Roberts has retired, I believe. Yep, John Roberts retired, as has Alexander Waldo. So this race has claimed 2 already. Look at this, Milo Linford and Jürgen Frank already battling for the lead. The CMRC coloured car number 72 of Jürgen Frank really piling that pressure on to get that lead. There's Stevie Chambers third, Lawrence de Rijk fourth, Gunnar Nienhuis 5. Oh, look at this, almost side by side. Coming along the that back straight there as they come through Canada corner. Oh, that was Milo getting a little bit squirrely there on the exit of Canada corner. Now through Thunder Valley and Bill Mitchell Bend, heading down to 14. Can he hang on to the lead? He's sticking very close to the inside line, but that's going to compromise his exit from that corner. And there we go then, there's Jürgen Frank getting a run on our pole sitter, and that is going to be the position to Jürgen Frank. And Stevie Chambers is under pressure as well by Lawrence de Rijk. Is that a lead change into turn 1? Yes, it is. Nice clean move there by Jürgen. Made Milo go a little bit wide. Oh, we have another.
Lawrence de Rijk.
Was it?
Lawrence de Rijk spun it in turn 1. Yeah.
Oh, he has. He's facing the wrong way. Oh dear, oh dear. Not a good start for him. He was challenging Stevie. And Stevie's actually down in 4th. He's lost that position to Gunnar. He's also got Lucas Dolzer for company as well. So Stevie under a great deal of pressure then. And just behind him you can see Lucas Dolzer jumping on the inside. Oh, very, very close. That's turn 5 where that move's happened. Very nice clean move there from Lucas. Demotes Stevie to 5th position. And then Christoph Weitz jumps on the inside to do the same thing to car number 55. So that's 2 positions in 2 corners that Stevie's lost. Goodness me, I mean, that is fairly inevitable in the feature races. The faster guys start towards the back of the field. There's Yannick. That's straight on Stevie's case as well. And further back you see a big chain of cars behind Soren Krutz in 8th position.
Yeah, there's a great battle going on between the two CMRC guys following behind Soren. Dustin versus Patrick has been going on for a while now. Sarah doing a good job of just staying out of it and keeping close to Soren. But as you say, Soren's dropped off the back of this train at the front, which has been a bit intense as well. So it's been intense racing pretty much the way through. Sarah is actually attacking him.
As I say, Sarah didn't have a good turn through. I think it was on the exit of the carousel. Oh, and that was very close, but well driven then between Dustin and Sarah there. So Sarah demoted to 10th position and is straight under pressure then from Patrick Heinrich. He's not wanting to lose any time. That's Knut Martinsen going a little bit wide, but hanging on to that position in that battle. Has got a lot of legs. And now Sarah spun on the exit of the final turn. Just gives that barrier a tiny little nudge. No real damage caused there, as we've just seen. Evan Imre as Nick Carroll. It is as Evan trying to pressure for that 13th position from Nick Carroll. There he goes on the outside. Nick defending the inside line, and right behind them is Andrew Langham Service. Oh, how's that going to go? And that is Nick defending that position at the moment. Evan now having a look again on the outside, heading down to turn 3. But again, he has to concede that one. He's certainly got the pace to try and get past Nick Carroll. He's not wanting to lose too much time behind that white and blue Ferrari.
Yeah, we know he's got some pretty decent pace around here, and he's really pressuring Nick. Nick's doing a stellar job right now of defending. Wow, that's some nice stuff from him there. He sort of dummied to the left, made it look like, it looked like Nick's going to defend that line. He had the line, and then Evan looked like he backed out a little bit to then give Nick the, I'm not coming through, but then he did anyway.
And there's Lawrence de Rijk. It's Andrew Langham Service that's coming through and taking the position as well. So as we saw Stevie Chambers demoted 2 positions in that exact spot last lap, the same thing has happened to Nick Carroll.
Speaking of Stevie Chambers, he is around. Just going into the corner before the carousel.
Oh no!
Around and lost a lot of positions from 6th position. He has dropped down into
13th.
What will be 13th? Yeah,
13th position. So, God, look at the pace that Evans suddenly found now that he's got past Nick. He's God blimey, he's away. You can see why he was so frustrated for having such disastrous luck last time around. He's absolutely away. He's certainly well suited to this particular track in that setup. Stevie is really struggling to get back underway again. I think he's going to be under pressure from Nick Carroll very, very soon at this rate. Has he got any damage on that car?
Stevie? No, I think he just spun on his own. He just spun onto the grass. A little innocent.
It can take a little while to get back into your rhythm. Oops, he runs a little bit wide, but not too bad at the exit of turn 14. Let's check back in with our leader then. Jürgen Frank leads the way by 3.8 seconds over Lucas Dolzer, who has got...
just past Gunner. Yeah, literally just passed him into 1.
That's Gunner for company then. So Gunner again finds himself in 3rd position. There is Milo Linford in 4th position. Gon's a little bit wide. That gives Christoph Weiss a position. Oh, and that's Yannick Nienhaus that's just gone wide at that same place. He's going to lose position to Dustin Hickman and Patrick Heinrich. There they go. If we get the chase cam, you can see the chopper cam rather. You can see how that is transpiring between those two SimRC guys, and of course Yannick at the back of that chain of 3. So they come round turn number 5. 9th position is Knut. He's just jumped on the inside of Soren Krutz for 9th position. Very nicely done. And at the back of that particular pack of 3 is Dennis Anlauer at car number 85. Evan then has a... Wow, Evan has broken away. He's got himself 1.5 seconds nearly over Stevie Chambers already. He's really chasing down that 11th place Dennis Anlauer. We'll have to see how that transpires. Nick Carroll has got Andrew Langham Service and Lawrence de Rijk for company. Lawrence having a look at the inside, and there's trouble then for Langham Service. He's gone wide at, that is turn 8. As they come into the carousel, side by side, that's Nick Carroll and Stevie Chambers. Ooh, that's very, very close. But Stevie hangs on to the outside of the carousel and hangs on to 13th position as a result. It's generally going to spell disaster going side by side at the carousel.
Oh wow, I just saw Nick had a little wobble at the kink, and Lawrence de Rijk is squeezing himself down there, and there's a little bit of contact between the two, but wow, Lawrence is going to make a very nice move on Nick Carroll coming down into the corner there, and now Lawrence, I mean, no, he's got pace as well, obviously further down than he'd like to be after that turn 2, lap 2 excursion. And now he's right troubling the back of Stevie Chambers.
Yes, as they come across the line to complete 5. Lap number 5 is a 22 lap race. So quite some battling left to do. Looking back from the gearbox of Stevie Chambers, you can see how Lawrence is closing in on him, and Stevie jumps to the inside line to defend the inside for turn 1. And that is going to be a pretty easy defensive move, not a big run down to turn 3. Let's see what's going to happen here. Lawrence has a look on the inside, but decides better of it. Again, it's not a massive braking zone there, so he's not going to gain a great deal. There you see Evan Imre. That is the gap he's managed to open up for himself. That is now 3.7 seconds between cars 22 and 55. That is a very impressive turn of pace that Evan has for himself at the moment. His last time was 2 of 4.5. It was a good 2.5 seconds quicker than Stevie. Oh, we're going to have trouble. Yep, that is impact there. That was Andrew Langham Service. No, it wasn't. I beg your pardon. It was Nick Carroll that slams into the back of Lawrence de Rijk at turn 5. He's got himself going again, but that's lost Nick a lot of time.
Yeah, that's what we call being a little bit late on the brakes. And running deep, had to lock all 4 to try and avoid it. Unfortunately, couldn't. So Lawrence is now picked up damage. Actually, very similar looking damage to what Adam Tierney had last race. So let's see how badly that affects it. We saw Adam able to pick up the pace towards the end of the race. George just picked up the pace in general. Didn't seem to lose too much. Probably lost a bit, but it's not the end of the world. But it depends on whether he'll have to come in for the pits to repair it or not. Because obviously there is a pit stop at some point. So we're interested to see if they force him to stay in the pits to take the repairs.
Looking at this 4-car train that we have behind Knut Martensen in 8th position, that's Dennis Anlauer and Yannick Nienhaus trying to get side by side through the Thunder Valley and Bill Mitchell bends. Oh, and again side by side into the final turn. Goodness me, that rather came out of nowhere. But Dennis Anlauer actually caught Yannick Nienhaus by surprise there, and there's Evan Imre catching up with that particular group as well. And there's the above shot. You can see how Evan's closing them in. And again, looking at the lap times, Evan was over 2 seconds faster than Dennis, I think, last time around. He was indeed. So that's how he's been able to close that gap in. So Evan really is a man on a mission at the moment, trying to make up for some lost time as they now come through turn 3. And that's allowed Knut Martensen and Soren Krutz to get away from this particular chasing pack. So again, that's going to relieve some pressure for Soren Krutz. Doesn't really do much for Knut Martensen at the moment, but there in the background you see Stevie Chambers. He's still under pressure. And he's just lost that position to Lawrence de Rijk on that straight, heading down towards turn 5. Stevie's still got the inside line. He could regain that position. Let's see how he does. Still side by side then. Lawrence giving the racing room that he needs. Lawrence does look like he's got the pace to do it. Stevie's still hanging on in there. Oh, very nicely done. But Stevie's going to fall. Oh, well defended by Stevie there. He's just got that position back before turn 7. Very nicely done indeed. Lawrence is determined though to try and get that position back. So there's a lot of pressure there for Stevie to have to deal with. That's bringing Andrew Langham's service into that battle as well as they come through the carousel. So that's that battle still has got some legs on it. Seriously, Milo Linford's falling through the field. What's happened to him? Is he lagged out, I wonder? Or is he retired? Have we lost Milo Linford?
Yes, we have. I'll go have a look.
Yeah, see if we can find out what's happened there, because he's suddenly vanished.
Just disconnected.
Oh, what a shame. Side by
it looks like he's just disconnected.
Oh, what a shame. Stevie Chambers and Lawrence de Rijk again side by side now, coming up towards the last bend, and again Stevie Chambers defends that position. Very nicely done. This is the view from Lawrence de Rijk. Oh, Stevie gets all out of shape. Oh, no impact between the two. Stevie's off into the wall. There was impact between Stevie and Stevie's out. We have lost Stevie Chambers. That is another retirement. Oh, he got all out of shape on the exit of that final turn. Just a small tap was all it took from Lawrence's car, and that is Stevie Chambers out of this race.
Yeah, that's a real shame. It can happen when you have a little wiggle in front of a car and the car behind can't quite seem to avoid or react quick enough. Not sure if there's anything Lawrence could have done. Maybe there is, maybe there isn't. Who knows? It's all arbitrary now. It's happened. It's done.
The benefit of hindsight.
It's going well though. Evan Imre has picked up. He's recently in the last couple of laps. He passed Dennis and Yannick while they were fighting. Then he sneaked down the inside into turn 5, and now he's right on the back of Soren Krutz. So challenging for 8th position, and not too far up the road from that is Knut Martin, his teammate.
I think it was, because Soren must have made a mistake, because he was right with Knut Martin last time around. Last time we looked at them, and he's lost 2 seconds on that last lap, Soren Krutz. So whilst Evan has been having a great recovery lap then, so he's closed right up on the back of now 8th place Soren Krutz. He's that's helped by that particular mistake that's dropped him off the back. Knut Martinsen. Knut now free to chase after. Oh, Dustin Hickman actually finds himself in 6th position. So last time we saw him, he was ahead of Patrick Heinrich, who is now in 4th, right behind. Now, position-wise, he's
in 4th now, but it's just overtaken Christoph.
Yeah, Christoph Weitz. Yeah, I was just thinking that doesn't look right, because he should be right behind Gunnar Nienhaus. Gunnar Nienhaus is the orange and white Ferrari you see in the shot there. So Patrick's just overtaken Christoph Weitz for 4th. Dustin's not too far behind, but of course has had that mistake somewhere that has cost him the time. So, but Jürgen's got 4 seconds gap over between himself and second place Lucas Dolzer, who in turn has a 3-second gap between himself and this pack led by Gunnar Nienhaus at the moment.
Yeah, that seems to be how it goes. It'd be interesting to see. I think one of the main battles now is, as we always say in these reverse grid races, is what can Patrick do from where he is. He's got the pace advantage on every car ahead of him, but it's not a huge advantage as it usually is. So he's going to have to really, really work for it if he wants to start moving up to the lead. I know he's got a big gap, but it's not exactly insurmountable with the amount of time we have remaining, so that will be a certainly interesting one to watch. Dustin, we know, is also quick here. Had a couple of issues which has allowed Patrick to come through, so that will be interesting to see. Oh, Soren runs wide. Actually, as I was just flicking back through the film, Evan looks like he's going to get that position done. Yep, Evan takes that position from Soren.
That he does. So Evan's best lap 2:04.0. That would certainly put him ahead of his teammate as well, who's next car up the road. So, what might have been for Evan if he hadn't had that first lap incident, or second lap incident rather. But he's on the move again. If he's able to break free of Soren Krutz then as they come through the carousel, Evan will now start to close down that 4-second gap, 4.3 second gap between himself and Knut Martinsen.
Yeah, Evan wanting to channel his inner queen and break free. but not right now. I mean, as I say, he's got Soren, and he's running at a really, really solid, strong pace. Certainly faster than his teammate, at least. Anyway, his teammate a bit more consistent, but hasn't had all of the cars to drive through. Evan does seem to have the ultimate pace on his teammate, though. And with the amount of time that we've got, he's not exactly far behind. He can probably catch, and will he be able to pass him? Who knows? But he'll probably be able to catch him. Is there anything he can do past that? I mean, he's got SimRC boys and Gunner ahead, so it'll be a tough ask to see if Evan can make any more.
And that's third position then for Patrick Heinrich. Simple manoeuvre into turn 1, slipstream and outbraking Gunner Nienhuis to demote the orange and white Ferrari into that 4th position then, and you can see Christoph Weiss and Dustin Hickman having their own battle just behind them. So that Gunner has a lot of very, very quick company right with him. Could Gunner have another go at Patrick Heinrich? So there is a pace difference there, so Gunner may just simply choose to run his own race. Oh, and that's Dustin Hickman running wide. Christoph Weiss running wide. Dustin Hickman has relieved him of that 5th position. So the SimRC boys swapping around at this point. That's through turns 8 and now into the cars. Beg your pardon, that's turn 6. Heading down to 7. Get my corner numbers wrong. It looks like they might be falling off the back of Gunner a little bit. So these two SimRC guys could just follow suit, but races are races. They are going to want to try and overtake one another and try and break away. But will Dustin be able to break away from Christoph Weiss is the next question.
I would expect so. Dustin has shown just in the qualifying last time out that he has a serious pace advantage on, well, not a serious pace advantage, but a pace advantage on Christoph. He's actually not too far off Patrick's pace, as we saw them fighting side by side quite a few times already this race. Dustin will want to be getting that move done and move early and move up ahead of Gunner. Gunner probably a little bit annoyed that Dustin is the car behind him, not Christoph, because Gunner probably thinks to himself that he could fight Christoph in a one-on-one. You know, he's probably matching his pace. In fact, he is usually matching his pace, if not slightly faster. So he's probably worried the fact that Dustin's already through and now has more time to overtake Gunner than he potentially would have if they were still fighting.
So we are on lap 10 then of this 22-lap race, heading down through the order. Jürgen Frank is the only car on track to have broken 2:03 at this stage. He leads Lucas Dolzer by 4.5 seconds. There is Lucas. You can see that chain of 4 cars behind. Hello, Stevie. We saw what happened, good sir. It's a shame to see you on the bench, but you're welcome in the stream nonetheless. So, Lucas in 2nd position. 3rd is the sprint race winner of Patrick Heinrich. He is breaking away from Gunner Nienhuis, but Gunner is still maintaining that gap between himself and Dustin Hickman. Dustin is not able to shake off Christoph Weiss at the moment, or not sufficiently enough that he can concentrate on attacking as opposed to defending. There's not going to be any team orders going on, do you think?
I would almost suggest absolutely 0.
Race unless you take each other off. So, Christoph Weiss in 6th position. There is Knut in 7th, who leads his teammate by 4 seconds. We know Evan has been on a charge. Evan set his personal best 2:04.001 last time around, and Knut set his best last time around 2:04.159. So still Evan a 10th quicker, but has a bit of a gap to close down. Soren Krutz 9th position with Yannick Nienhuis for company as they come through the kink and head down towards Canada Corner. Dennis Anlauer in 11th with Lawrence de Ruyck behind. So we saw that incident between Lawrence and Stevie earlier. Lawrence finds himself in 12th. Andrew Langham Service has Sarah Dove for company in 13th position. Nick Carroll finds himself way down in 15th position, and Jerry Lynn is actually in the pits, I think.
Yeah, that's interesting. Wonder if he's pitting for the fuel or whether he's just decided to. Going to see if he's driven into the pits. Yeah, he has driven into the pits.
Yeah,
so I'm
he's still in the race, and there he goes. He's going to hit.
Yeah.
Hit
he's
the pace
attempting to go. Come on, you can do it.
There we go. Very careful exit there.
Maybe just waiting for the people to come through. Yeah, Yes, that's exactly what he's doing. He's waiting for the other cars to come
Ah.
in. So good stuff from him.
Fair play to you. Let's have a look at this gap here then. Dustin Hickman, Gunnar Nearhouse, and Christoph Weitz. Christoph is falling off the back. Oh, goes Gunnar runs wide at turn 5. That's going to give Dustin the opportunity then to slip through on the inside. And hello, Hojek. Good to see you. Long time no see, good sir. Gunnar hanging on to that 4th position there. Finds himself about 2.5 seconds out to Patrick Heinrich. So Patrick then running off as we thought would happen. Jürgen Frank is the one dominating this race in pretty spectacular style. I wonder where this pace was from Jürgen last time around.
It certainly is a strange one. We usually expect Jürgen to be either in the 1st or the 2nd position based on previous. So the fact that he's unable to, or was unable to in the 1st race, really get anything, in fact qualified so far down for what is usual for him, certainly surprising. So the fact that he's now got that pace together is not too unusual based on the norm. Obviously based on the race, it's weird where was this pace, although it's not like super blistering. It's way better than what he was managing last time, but it's better than he was last time. It's not like mopping.
It's not a colossal difference.
Yeah, so
and Gunnar is in. Gunnar just lost that 4th position to Dustin Hickman, and Gunnar comes into the pits then. So another one coming in for their stop. That's the halfway mark. I would imagine a lot of people are going to do. What would your strategy be here? Would you come in at this point, or would you leave it later for a shorter stop?
Well, I mean, that all depends on where I am on the track and what the situation is at the time. Typically, I do like to run it to the end of the fuel stint as much as I can, so that you do have the shorter stop and the lighter car at all times. Obviously, the advantage of pitting early is if you're in a battle and you believe you have the pace of the guys ahead, or you feel like you'll lose time to battling to the cars behind you, come in, you find some clean air, and you start doing some good laps, and you find yourself potentially coming out ahead of the people that you're fighting.
Unfortunate for Gunnar, he actually missed his mark. He had to reverse slightly.
Oh no!
It'll cost him a little bit of time. So
let's have a look.
We're looking at Yannick Nienhuis, who's right with Soren Krutz then. As both of them run out a little bit wide at turn 5. They're not going to be noticing much tyre deck, are they, at this point?
No, not in the Ferrari. The tyre deck is very limited over, especially this race distance. Perhaps over, once you've done a couple of stints of 45 minutes each, so 2 race distances, you'd probably expect the tyres to start being a little bit more past their prime than they are after these races or during these races. So yeah, there shouldn't be anything to worry about in that regard. But I've seen a couple of people take tyres when they not 100% need to because they feel slightly more comfortable, but none of these guys will be doing that.
So if the rear starts to get twitchy, it's because they got a little bit lead foot going on. And Yannick, I think, is Yannick in?
Yannick's had an interesting one. No, Yannick's not in. Yannick's had a slide coming out of the carousel, has avoided the wall in spectacular fashion, and then ran onto what is that weird chicane that they added before that back straight after the carousel. He sort of had to take that line instead.
Oops! Oh right, yeah, just before the kink.
Just because he was sliding, but he managed to get it all together without hitting the wall. So that's some good stuff from him. But yeah, he's lost a lot of position. Well, yeah, no, a lot of position, a lot of time, but only the one position to Lawrence de Rijk, and he's coming in as well. So following in his brother's footsteps.
Oh, Patrick had a big tank slapper there on the exit of 3. He got a little bit too wide, and the car got very loose, but managed to hang on to that. He's right with Lucas Dolzer. So Patrick has been closing that gap. He gained 1.1 seconds on the last lap alone. So that's what's put Patrick on Lucas's case. Obviously, Jürgen is minding his own business. Thank you, Stevie. He's giving me his corner name version of that. As so Yannick is in the pits, and so is Andrew Langham Service. So another pitter at this point. And there we see that. So jumping back to the battle for 3rd position. Then they're coming through the carousel. Patrick keeping a bit of a tighter line through that than Lucas does, it would seem. So chase cam from Patrick's car. They now come through the kink. just a tiny lift then, using that slightly extended curb on the outside. Heading down towards Canada corner.
I've just seen the timings that Soren Kurtz is out, and
I was going to say,
someone has hit the incident limit.
Oh dear, Soren Kurtz, he was running well.
He was running in 8th position at the time. Yeah, so that's unfortunate.
Oh dear.
Yeah, so there's actually a couple of guys that do have to just look at what they're doing with the incident limit. Lucas Dolzer, currently running second, is currently sitting on 13 incidents, 3 more, and he's out of there. Lawrence de Rijk is on 12.
Oh dear, I don't think I can see the incident limit on my overlay
This
here.
is the one thing that I get from the iRacing thing that I'm allowed to look at because I'm not streaming my screen.
Yeah, I could see Soren was dropping through the order. I'd assumed there was a disconnect going on there.
Lucas Dolzer, he's spun it coming out of turn 1.
He has. Where's he gone?
Spun it. Patrick looked like he got the move done, and then Lucas possibly blinded by the fact that there's a car that spins it at turn 1, slightly hits the wall, and he's gained 2 incident points from that. So he is only the 1 away. And
oh dear!
And then trying to get the car straightened up again, he hits the tyre barrier.
He did. He clunked into the wall trying to get the car straight. So, yeah, I looked away just for a brief moment, and then looked up when you went ooh, and saw that Lucas had vanished. So that's given that second position then to Patrick. So Lucas finds himself in 6th position, in a fair bit of space between himself and Lawrence de Rijk. But Knut Martensen now up to 5th position. Christoph Weiss up to 4th. And Dustin Hickman up to 3rd as a result of that. So 6.4 seconds then is the lead between car 72, this man Jürgen Frank, who is, where is he? He's coming up to, he's on that back area, isn't he? Yes, he's going through.
On the slide.
He's on the slide. So Patrick then is coming through that area as well. And Dustin Hickman then had 5.3 seconds between himself and Patrick then, so they're roughly equidistant. There is Christoph Weiss, 4th position. It's 2.5 seconds down from Dustin. Knut then, running well in 5th, has got 6 seconds between himself and Christoph Weiss. Lucas Dolzer now up and running again. Let's see how the damage is going to affect his car, because he certainly clunked into that tyre wall with a bit of force. I'll have a look to see. There's no visible damage on his car that we can see on the cameras, as he runs slightly wide there on the exit of Canada corner. Will he pit this time around, I wonder?
He might do indeed, yeah.
Jürgen Frank is in.
He's got more, yeah, like Lucas has more things to worry about than the damage. That incident limit is looming. There's no way he's going to be able to push as hard as he was. He's
and
already
he is
got a
in.
few incidents. And yeah, he comes into that was either the most perfect pit entry there, or he sped coming in. But I think that might have been perfect. One other thing to note is Evan Imre has pitted. He hasn't dropped down the order, he's pitted. So
and here he is in 9th position.
I think this might be the time to pit for pretty much everyone, because everyone has come in, I think, apart from Dustin. Is Jürgen coming? Yeah, Jürgen coming. I think so. Dustin is currently the only person to have not pitted, I believe.
Not quite. Well, in the top few, yeah. I think Lawrence. I think is Knut in? Yeah, cool. Knut's actually just coming out.
Like I said, they're all coming in. They've all pretty much just come in this lap. Let's see where Evan is.
Oh, it's going to right with him.
Not too far behind. No, he's definitely closed the gap over these last few laps. Both, not surprisingly, ahead of Lucas Dolzer.
Indeed. So just check then. I think the only one not to pit then is Dustin. It is indeed. Dustin's the only man on track who yet to pit, so he leads then by 25 seconds over second place Jürgen Frank. Patrick has 6.3 seconds to gain. Christoph Weiss. Oh, we've just lost Nick Carroll.
Let's have a look. I will find out.
Car number 94 has suddenly fallen off the radar. We have lost another.
Incident limit.
No dear.
Like he's just run it deep. Oh yeah, so easy. He's run it deep, coming down the main, the back straight, and boof, gets an off track. He must have already been off the 15 incident and hits the 16, and he's gone. And yeah, so Lucas is close to it. Andrew Langham's service is relatively close. He's got 2 more to go. Yancy Jerry Lynn also with only 2 remaining. Lawrence and Yannick both running on 12 incidents, so everyone, a bit of leeway. But yeah,
everyone's quite high on there. That's quite high incident counts across the board.
Apart from Mr. Dennis Enlauer, who decides he's only going to have the one today.
Nice. Well, at this rate, he might be picking up the win by virtue of everyone else being out.
Yeah, well, he's certainly the only person on track that's going to gain any sort of bonus point from having only got the one incident. You get a bonus point for one incident, you get 3 bonus points for having a completely clean race. So Dennis Enlauer will hopefully hold on to that 1 point. Dustin rather, has just pitted. So Yes,
Jürgen Frank resumes the lead. There he is.
Or will do.
And Patrick Heinrich has just come through into second position. And Dustin then comes out. He's going to find himself 4.1 seconds behind Patrick. So, oops, run slightly wide on the exit of turn 1 for good measure. Gunnar Nienhuis is still right with Christoph Weitz. So,
yeah.
That is a great battle there for 4th position between Christoph and Gunnar. Gunnar is not letting him go at all.
Yeah. Obviously, well, I mean that Christoph has actually got ahead of Gunnar because he was behind before the pit stop phase. Obviously, Gunnar pitted slightly earlier, and now he's behind Christoph. So this will be interesting to see if he can get the move done. He's going to gain. He's not going to be close enough here, I don't think, to make it into 5. But if he believes he has the pace to keep with Christoph, then he certainly can attempt to make the move somewhere later on than that, maybe this lap somewhere.
It was just 0.04 of a second between the two. Oh, sorry, big button, between their best lap times. So there's a very close pace difference between them. So that is a quite a ding-dong battle forming there. Evan Imre is less than 1.5 seconds behind Cadet Martinson. As we know, their best lap times are still just a tenth and a bit apart, so those two squaring up for a battle as well. And also, speaking of Andrew Langham service, he's very, very close to Sarah Dove for that 12th place. So there are, as we found last time, there's quite a few battles up and down the field. Just jump back to Gunnar Nienhuis Gunnar Nienhuis battling for 4th, and he's hanging on to the back of Christoph Weiss very, very well.
He certainly is, yeah. I was again looking through the older, as I do, scrolling through, and I saw that someone had quite a slow lap time that wasn't a pit lap, and it was Yannick Nienhuis who dropped 10 seconds on the previous lap from a spin out of the final corner. So,
oh dear.
He has got that. He had a spin, and that's actually put him up to 14 incidents as well. So,
oh dear.
Lucas Dols is actually one, as I say, he's definitely one to watch just because of that incident limit. You do wonder. I mean, I say that he's got such a gap.
4.5.
Stolzer. Of course, because he had his. Did he have a sprint? Have I lost my mind?
Yes, you have.
He was the one that spun, wasn't he?
That's right. He's the one that spun and then smacked into the tyre wall trying to turn it.
Into the tyre wall. Yes. Okay.
Hello, Frank Adros. Thank you very much, good sir. That's very kind of you. I'm not back to a full commentary schedule yet. Oh, go on.
Sorry, I was just looking through again, as I do, and I saw the incident count for Andrew Langham's service go up by 1. So I clicked on his name to see where he was, and he was almost spearing across the track. And,
oh dear.
Yeah, just gone wide at the second to last corner, and almost went straight into Sarah Duff, who has made a position on Andrew Langham's service. So there you go.
She has. Evan Imre is very close. Then just half a second separates him and his teammate.
Oh, yes.
Knut did not have a good lap last time around, 6/10 slower than his teammates. So cars 20 and 22 are shaping up for a great battle, and we don't have a lot of laps left, only 5 to go. So about 10 minutes of racing left here at Road America, and Evan Imre is shaping up for a battle with his teammate Gunnar, still hanging on to the back of that SimRC car 69, Christoph Weitz. Their last lap time around was actually a 10th, well, not even that, 200ths of a second in Gunnar's favour. So he is really sticking to the back of the SimRC racer as they then come through Canada corner. You can see here as we're on nose cam with Gunnar Nienhuis, he's glued to the slipstream of that SimRC car. As they come around the final turn then, can Gunnar do anything here? Slightly tighter line than Christoph Weitz. He's not gaining a great deal at this point in time. And that is lap 18 that they begin then. And you just saw at the top of the shot there, that's Dustin Hickman in 3rd position. He's fairly safe in there. The back of the shot, you can see Knut Martinsen and Evan Imre. Oh, we've lost Andrew Langham's service.
He's gone. He's finally hit the limit.
What did he do?
Let's just find out. He's probably just run wide somewhere. I will find, because this is what I do. Yeah, just ran wide on the corner before the carousel, just went in deep, onto the gravel, and he's gone.
That's 13 races that leaves us with Jerry Lynn. Was a little way back.
Oh, 14. Jerry's done those 13. You're right, of course.
Yeah. Jerry Lynn is in 14th. Yeah.
Yes, it's very disappointing it doesn't update in real time.
Oh, that's sorry to cut you off there, Phil. Look at that. That's Gunnar really piling on the pressure. Christoph was very, very slow through turn 5, and Gunnar really had to work hard to try and get into a position to keep the pressure on, but not slam into the back of car 69. Then they head down to turn 8, and still Gunnar in the in-house tried to keep that pressure on. In the background, you can see there's that battle between Knut Martinsen and Evan Imre. The Scotsman keeping his Norwegian friend under, keeping him straight and true.
Yeah, I would be, if I was these Force Ferrari, yes, I believe that's the name. If I was these guys, I would probably be talking to them saying, let's just chill for now, because we've got 4 or so laps sort of left, and we're actually catching the 2 guys ahead in Gunnar and Christoph. These guys, whilst they're battling and losing time,
they're losing
time hand over fist.
About 6 or 7 tenths at least. I mean, looking at the last lap times, actually Evan managed to break 2:04 at some point, but again 2:04.0. Both of the Force Ferrari Izzies did 2:04.0, gaining at least 6 tenths on Gunnar and Christoph. So this could work well for Knut and Evan, but only 3 laps to go though.
Only 3 laps to go indeed. It's not a lot of time. But yeah, these guys ran 2:05s, and that was, there you go. So you look at that, look at the time difference. There's 1.3 seconds.
All personal best for Knut and Evan. Yeah, so they are hopefully going to capitalise, or at least bring themselves into the battle. But there's still 3 seconds though between Knut and Gunnar.
Exactly. They're going to want another couple of laps added onto this race, probably at this rate. But I mean, if they catch them every lap at that rate, they will be there by the end of the race.
Yeah.
But it's a tall order, considering that those guys aren't really. They are typically in the 2:04s, not the 2:05s. So it depends on how hard they battle. I think that's the thing, is these guys do taking off a second or so from each other, just because they are going side by side. We will absolutely see the Ferraris catching up.
Looking back then from Christoph Weiss, you can just see that fly-covered Ferrari of Gunnar Nienhaus looming very, very large, but the 2 Force Ferrari Izzies in the background getting ever gradually bigger as well. Nothing Christoph Weiss can do. It just seems interesting that Christoph Weiss just cannot shake off Gunnar Nienhaus. Gunnar just seems to be able to hold his line that little bit tighter. It just could be a setup difference. It doesn't appear to be any particular damage on Christoph Weiss's car. We just look fore and aft. Looks to be in the correct shape. So Gunnar is able to stay nailed to the back of Christoph's car. That's a sentence and a half. Pretty well at the moment.
Yeah, I do think. Well, we've seen from the qualifying race that Gunnar does have more pace than Christoph. So that's why this. I mean, it's interesting that he ended up behind after the pits. I wonder if there was a slow lap at some point for Gunnar that just allowed that to happen. But because of that, they have now been put under pressure. Well, obviously Christoph being put under pressure from Gunnar. I think this is a better lap from the 2. Though I don't think the Ferraris have caught them that much, if at all.
We will see. 2:04.5, 2:04.4, and for Knut and Evan 2:04.0. So they still gain nearly half a tenth again.
Unfortunately, it was only 4 tenths, which is not enough. These guys
half a tenth, half a second. Beg your pardon.
Half a tenth. Yeah, it's close to half a tenth. If the Ferraris, you guys deciding that they want to do pretty much the same laps as each other, lap after lap now.
I mean, you can visibly see how that gap has shrunk, but only 2 laps to go then. We are on the penultimate lap, 20 or 21. Let's see where our race leader, Jürgen Frank, is. There he is, just coming through turn 7, heading down to 8. Patrick Heinrich There he is in second position. That's 4.3 seconds. It's rather too much to gain without a mistake from Jürgen. Dustin then just coming through that same area in third. There is Christoph Weitz with Gunnar all over the back of him as they come through turn 7 then. This is what it looks like from Gunnar's perspective. He's having a think about it on the inside of turn 8, but again, that is fended off by Christoph pretty conclusively. Again, that is going to bring Knut and Evan into that particular span as well. There, Evan's fallen off the back of Knut a little bit, so it's not quite such a clean lap from Evan this time around. Or he simply backed off, not wanting to stay too much in that slipstream whilst going through the corners. Lucas Dolzer in 8th position after his earlier misadventures. He finds himself 7.3 behind Evan. Lawrence de Rijk in 9th then. He is in no man's land as well. Dennis Anlauer in 10th position, just coming through the carousel. There is Yannick Nienhaus with Sarah Dover directly behind. And still running, but a lap down is Jerry Lynn. Back up to this battle then for 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th. Just 2.2 separates Knut and Gunnar Nienhaus, but unless a mistake happens, that gap is not going to close in time as we start our final lap here at Road America, lap 22. And there's Gunnar Nienhaus. He's having a look on the inside, but no, he chooses not to have a lunge at turn 1. He's got to bide his time. And that's the view from Gunnar. You just hear all the dirt bouncing off the car.
This must be frustrating for Gunnar because he is quicker than Dustin through this entire first sector up until about turns 6 and 7 into 8. And then just Christoph Weitz seems to be able to pull it together again all the way for the rest of the remaining lap. But here we go, Christoph has to go defensive, Gunnar to the outside. Is he going to try the outside here? Well, he's got to attempt it. If you say it's the last lap, he's going to the outside, but Christoph's going to chop the nose. But it was behind, unfortunately.
No, that's... the Ferrari Force Ferraris he's going to swap? It doesn't look like they do. So everyone remaining in their respective positions at the moment. Evan is right on Fizzy's case at the moment. As Gunnar is on Christoph Weitz, is going to check where our leader is. He's not quite on the start finish straight. Coming around the carousel then, this battle. Oh, Gunnar's lost some time on Christoph, but Christoph did look like he went a little bit deep in the carousel, but that's now half a second for Gunnar to have to close down. And there is our race leader, Jürgen Frank, just coming through towards turn 14. And there he goes, unless he flies off the road now, which of course he doesn't, then this race is going to go to him pretty convincingly. So, your race winner here at Road America. Oh no! Have I got the lap count wrong?
There's a strong possibility.
Yes, I think I have got the lap count wrong.
That's fine.
Yes, this is the final lap, I beg your pardon. We've lost Sarah Dove as well. So
she's hit the incident limit. Yeah, the incident limit. Let's have a look at that, because I can. Just coming wide. She loses a little bit on the curve. Like, just runs a little bit too wide, coming down into the right hander before the left hand for the carousel. I think that's what, turn 7?
right, yeah.
Yes, turn 7.
Turn 7 is the right hander before the carousel. It is indeed turn 7. Yes. So, and we are now on lap 22. Let me get the lap counts completely wrong. So then the battle, as previously mentioned, continues then. Gunnar trying to do something. Oh, and has vanished. Have we lost Gunnar? No, we haven't. No, that was lag. That was a big moment of lag then. It's like, he can't have just hit the incident limit. He was on track. He got very close again to Christoph Weitz, as he keeps doing at that turn 5, but cannot do anything with that pace. Christoph defending brilliantly well. And again, they continue through 6, down through 7. Knut and Imre continuing their battle, as you can see in the shot there as well.
I think what's happening between these guys, Gunnar and Christoph, is that Gunnar probably running a slightly lower downforce setup. So he's struggling through this carousel, which means he's not able to set himself up for the run down to that final bit, which is really hurting him his chances. But obviously that's why he's probably so strong in the first couple of sectors.
Absolutely, yeah. So Jürgen then this time I'm correctly reporting he is going through the final turn for the final time. There we go. Learn to count. That'll help me. So, I'll say it again. Your race winner here for the second race in Road America, car number 72, is Jürgen Frank. Second position goes to 68, Patrick Heinrich. Third position is car 71, now mixing up names, Dustin Hickman. Very nicely done. Crystal Brights just manages to fend off Gunnar Nearhouse, 4th and 5th. And there is Kenneth Martinson hanging on to 6th position just from Evan Imre. What a great recovery drive from Evan, though. Lucas Dolzer coming up the hill to claim 8th position, car number 73. Car 21, Lawrence de Rijk. Oh, we'll get these names right in a minute. Oh, we lost Jerry Lynn as well before the end of the race. Oh, that's a shame. Dennis Handlauer. Did Dennis stay on 1 penalty?
He did.
Oh, well played.
Good stuff from Dennis. To finish in the top 10 and to take that extra point.
And the last runner then is Yannick Nienhuis. We lost nearly half the field for one reason or another.
Yannick Nienhuis taking it very slow because unlike Dennis, who only had the 1 incident, Yannick is 1 off the incident limit. Oh. So just taking it nicely across the line. And yeah, that's your final runner on track. It is indeed.
So, Jürgen then taking a pretty dominant win in the second race, and the rest of the results, as you can see. So yeah, it was really Sarah downwards. Were non-finishers. So the classified finishers there: Sarah Dove 12, Jared In 13, Andrew Langham 14, Nick Carroll 15, Soren Chris 16, Milo Linford 17, Stephen Chambers. Oh, you hear people banging into one another. Where were we? Stevie Chambers 18, Adam Tierney 19, John Roberts 20, and Alexander Waldo 21. And that concludes this evening's racing. So just leaves me to say thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for being with us throughout, whether you were watching on the stream or watching the recording that I'll be putting on YouTube after. It is always a pleasure, and as always, it's a great pleasure to be with you in the box. Again, Mr. McPhillum.
And once again, it's been a pleasure to be with you as well, to enjoy this racing.
It has been pretty epic for many reasons, so thank you very much, and we will see you right here yet again for more AOR action. Thank you very much, and good night.